Jules Koundé, Pau Torres, Alessandro Bastoni, Matthias de Ligt, Milan Skriniar and Lisandro Martínez. What if your club can't sign any of them? In this transfer shortlist video, we'll be highlighting 15 potential centre-back targets for a variety of playing styles and budgets. This video does come with a warning though. Centre-back is one of the most difficult positions to evaluate through stats. A really impressive radar does not necessarily reflect quality, more so activity. That means that forecasting how a player will perform in a new team and division requires incredibly in-depth scouting. But for now, here are 5 ball-playing centre-backs, 5 wide centre-backs and 5 traditional centre-backs you need to note down. Given the transfer tug-of-war between Arsenal and Man United for Lisandro Martínez, we're going to start with the ball players. Ball-playing centre-backs. As you can see, there's a reason why the Butcher is attracting so much attention, ranking in the 95th percentile and above for final third entries, passes into the opposition half and ball recoveries. He's even a phenomenon in the air despite his size. Our first pick also hails from the Eredivisie. Just as PSV finished runners-up to Ajax in 2021-22, the runners-up in the race to sign Martinez might turn their attention to Eindhoven. Olivier Biscagli averaged more ball recoveries per 90 minutes than any other centre-back in Europe's top 7 leagues last season. Keeping with that criteria, he ranked second for possession won in the middle third per 90 minutes, ahead of Martinez in third, and also ranked second for passes into the final third per 90, with Martinez taking the top spot in that one. You can see the pattern, right? If not, what if we told you, just like Martinez, he's left-footed and capable of playing in midfield? If you can't get your hands on the Argentinian Amsterdammer, Biscagli could be your man. Marcus Senesi helped Feyenoord finish third behind Ajax and PSV, as well as reaching the inaugural Europa Conference League final. As a result, he was called up by both Italy and Argentina ahead of the Finalissima at Wembley, opting to represent his country of birth by hopping on the Scalonetta. Ranking in the 95th percentile and above for final third entries, ball recoveries and final third passes, the San Lorenzo native possesses all the necessary ball-playing attributes that we're looking for. Taller and heavier than his Eredivisie contemporaries, he is built more closely in the image of a traditional centre-back for any teams that may have concerns about physicality. Venturing outside of the Netherlands, any teams looking to win the Fair Play Award might want to steer clear of Facundo Medina. RC Lens's left centre-back was the most booked defender in Liga in 2021-22, a byproduct of his tenacious front foot defending. Playing on the left of a back three removes some of the jeopardy from that aggressive approach, but the fact he prefers to sit back, punch forward passes and cover space means he profiles better for this style than the upcoming wide centre-back shortlist. With Medina, Lisandro Martinez, Marcos Senesi and Christian Romero, we might have been better off doing an Argentinian centre-back squad depth video. Meanwhile, clubs hoping to go shopping in the Bundesliga would have been disappointed to see Nico Schlotterbeck signed by Borussia Dortmund before the transfer window even opened. The German ranked in the top 10 for Duels Won, tackles made, interceptions and passes into the final third across the entire division. However, while Hiroki Ito does not sit at the same table as the all-conquering Schlotterbeck, the Japanese international's distribution is eye-catching enough. He ranked first for long passes per 90 among all Bundesliga centre-backs during the 2021-22 season, and in the top 5 for both passes into the final third and into the opposition box. Ito's defending needs work, but his wand of a left foot was enough to convince Stuttgart to activate their purchase option this summer. Given that left-footed centre-backs are in vogue, our final ball-playing option unsurprisingly fits that description. Gonzalo Inacio completed the most passes and racked up the second most touches during the 2021-22 Primeira Liga season, operating on both flanks and at the heart of Sporting Lisbon's back three throughout the campaign. The 20-year-old's comfort on the ball is the main reason he was paraded across the back line, and this positional versatility has helped fast-track his development and exposure to first-team football. Sporting's latest wonderkid might not be available cheaply, but Primeira Liga sides are always willing to sell for the right price. Wide centre-backs. A term popularised by Chris Wilder's Sheffield United and its subsequent inclusion in Football Manager. We've described the role in detail on the Squawka YouTube channel previously. Subscribers to the channel will also know plenty about 2 premium options for this role, Josko Gvardiol and Jurrien Timber. The Croatian completed more take-ons than any other centre-back in Europe's top 5 leagues in 2021-22, while Timber tops this metric as well as tackles made in the Eredivisie. But as this is a new video, we wanted to highlight some alternatives to our candidates for Chelsea's defensive rebuild using a newly created wide centre-back template. Let's start with the second cleanest tackler in Europe last season, Pierre Kalulu. 2,335 players attempted at least 20 tackles in Europe's top 7 leagues last season, and only Mark Guehi had a better true tackle success rate than Kalulu's 82.4%. Attempting nearly twice as many tackles as the Palace centre-back, the Frenchman was only dribbled past 5 times and committed just 8 fouls from his 74. Not a prolific ball carrier, the fact he is also used at right-back makes him a perfect candidate for a more defensive-minded wide centre-back role, which would allow an ultra-attacking option to be deployed on the left. If not, Mohamed Simikan, another Frenchman, represents an elite, albeit expensive option for the right-sided role, but RB Leipzig are unlikely to sell him and Gvardiol in the same window. Instead, cast your eyes to MLS, where the stock of Mamadou Fall continues to rise. The Senegalese centre-back, who wears Mbacké on his shirt, ranks in the 95th percentile and above for take-ons attempted, and just under this top bracket for touches inside the opposition box and shots attempted. Fall appears to be extremely well-rounded for his age and even displayed a goal-scoring touch in his first MLS season, scoring 4 goals in 19 games. Giorgio Chiellini's recent arrival also means that the 19-year-old will now learn from one of the modern greats. So, while it's worth allowing the teenager some time to be tutored, don't leave it too late. For the left wide centre-back slot, Piero Hincapié is the ideal Gvardiol alternative, ranking in the 95th percentile and above for take-ons attempted and crosses attempted. No other centre-back created more big chances during the 2021-22 Bundesliga campaign. Leverkusen's elegant Ecuadorian will break the 20-cap mark before his 21st birthday when he features at this year's World Cup, and if he does get snapped up or the asking price is too steep, then Attila Szalai is another decent left-footed option. Traditional centre-backs. Now, for some future masters of the defensive arts, Bremer was named Serie A Defender of the Year in 2021-22, an award won by Christian Romero the season before. It carries enough weight for us to pin up the Brazilian as the poster boy of this shortlist within a shortlist. The fact that Italy are battling Brazil for his international allegiance is another clear sign of his quality. So, with Bremer off the table, the man that made more interceptions than any other player in Europe's top 5 leagues in 21-22, our first suggestion is the player that made the most interceptions inside his own box. In his debut Premier League campaign, Mohamed Salisu made the most interceptions in total, and no player in Europe made more inside their own penalty area. He also led all Premier League centre-backs for tackles made and ball recoveries, also ranking first for passes into the opposition box. Even in his maiden top-flight season with Real Valladolid in 2019-20, Salisu topped the La Liga rankings for clearances made. No display epitomised his old-school defensive ability more than the titanic performance against Manchester City in January. Maybe the Saints will receive another £75 million bid for a centre-back soon. As Wesley Fofana and Ibrahima Konate have proven, signing a French centre-back is almost always a good choice. In 2019-20, Maxence Lacroix was playing in Ligue 2 with Sochaux, but has since established himself as first-choice centre-back for Wolfsburg. In 2021-22, Lacroix ranked in the top 5 for Duels Won, tackles made and interceptions when compared to Bundesliga centre-backs, finishing in the top 10 for aerial duels won and clearances. Most impressively, of all the centre-backs in Europe's top 5 leagues to attempt at least 30 take-ons, the 22-year-old finished with the highest success rate, completing 31 out of his 36 attempts. He might be even better as a wide centre-back. Lacroix's size and speed have earned him fame in the virtual world, clocking the Bundesliga's 4th highest top speed in his debut season, and that's made him a FIFA favourite ever since. Given his qualities, real-life notability cannot be far behind. Our final centre-back has recently completed a permanent transfer to Troyes, part of the City football group, but his stats were too impressive not to highlight. 1,558 players in Europe's top 7 divisions contested at least 150 duels during the 2021-22 league season, and Jackson Perozzo had the best duel win rate. The Ecuadorian won an incredible 75.9% of his 203 contested duels for Boavista, and Virgil van Dijk was the only player that could get anywhere near to matching him, winning 73.5% of his 200 contests. Looking specifically at aerial duels, 326 players contested at least 100 last season, and Jackson Perozzo was the only player to maintain a win rate above 80%. Once again, VVD was in second place with 77.5%. Although he may not be available this summer, should Perozzo continue this Van Dijk level of 1v1 dominance into the 2022-23 campaign, a club might come knocking in January. And if you really can't wait, and take a look at Castello Lequeiba and Duplexé Chamba. So, which style of centre-back is your club looking for? Which players do you want them to sign? Let us know in the comments, and make sure to check out our full playlist of transfer shortlist videos.